right, the Ride Superpig and the Ride Warpig, two of the most highly anticipated boards for the upcoming season. Very stoked I've had a chance to ride and review them both. And in this video, I'm gonna break down how they're similar, how they're different, and share my thoughts on why you might wanna choose one over the other. Let's dive right into it. At first glance, these boards do look pretty similar, and they do have some things that they share in common. Mainly that's going to be the shape and the specs. So these are both going to be volume shifted directional twin snowboards. They're going to have a directional shape, so outside the contact points, the widest point on the nose and tail of the board, it's going to have a significantly longer nose and a shorter tail. It's also going to have a slight taper, so those tail contact points are going to be a little bit narrower than the nose, and they're also naturally very wide. That's going to be one of the defining things about the Warpig and the Superpig. Both of these boards are going to give you a different feel on soft or more powdery snow versus on hard pack, and those three things, the width, the taper, and the directional shape, are all going to work together to give them some pretty decent powder performance. So the width is just going to give you more surface area, even at a shorter length. That's going to help to keep you on top of the soft snow. The taper is going to help to naturally set the board up to kind of keep the tail down and the nose up, and that longer nose is going to help to reach up out of the powder and poke out of the snow using the entire length of the snowboard from nose to tail. Where in comparison on hard pack, if you're doing some carving or maybe you're getting into the park, you're really only using the part of the board that's between the contact points. These boards are going to give you a pretty twinish feel. The stance is centered within the contact points, so if you're doing some switch carving, you get some switch landings in the park, it's going to feel pretty similar riding regular or switch. The only thing affecting your switch riding is actually the taper, and honestly it's pretty negligible. They do feel pretty comfortable riding switch as well. As far as the differences go, I think it mainly comes down to the camber profile, the flex, and the materials used in each board. So the Warpig is mainly a flat snowboard. It's got a little bit of rocker in the tail and even more rocker in the nose. And really the only carbon you're gonna find in it is the Carbon Array 3. 3 carbon stringers going from under the bindings out to the contact points. And it's got a pretty medium flex. So it's not a super soft board by any means, but it's definitely quite a bit softer than the Superpig. So in comparison, the Superpig is a camber dominant snowboard. It's got full camber going from the front foot all the way out to the tail with just some rocker in the nose. It's quite a bit stiffer as well. Honestly, it's a lot of board. It's pretty aggressive. It's for more advanced riders, I'd say. And it's got quite a bit more carbon built into it. It's got the Carbon Array 5 stringers, so more carbon going underfoot. It's got carbon built into the fiberglass. It's got carbon in the sidewalls, pretty much in all aspects of the snowboard. Just trying to give the Superpig as much energy as possible while still keeping the weight down. And it really does come through. The Superpig is much more aggressive. It's super energetic, and it really is much more of a charger versus the Warpig. All right, so why would you get one of these snowboards over the other? So I think the Warpig is a much more friendly board for intermediate and up riders. It's one of those boards that you can really take out any day, any conditions, and have a good time on it. It's definitely more freestyle friendly as well. I think the softer flex and the flat camber profile make it a lot more fun in the park. A little bit more manageable whether you're hitting jumps or rails. It's also still a fun board for carving. Like I said, it's a pretty medium flex, so it's not super soft. It's still got some good stability, still got some bite and turns, as well as that width helping you out to really lay turns over and not get any heel or toe drag. And I also think the Warpig might have a slight edge over the Superpig in powder because it does have more rocker. It's got that flat profile instead of camber, and it's a little bit softer in the nose, so that's going to help the nose bend and get up over on top of that soft snow. But I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. I think they're both going to do pretty well in powder. Slight edge on the Warpig though. And the Superpig, much more aggressive, way more energy out of the snowboard. It's one of those boards that just doesn't have a speed limit. You can go as fast as you want, you can turn as hard as you want. It's going to stand up to that aggressive style of riding much better. You know, if you're going through some really technical terrain where you're really depending on the board, or you're doing some big drops and you really want the board to come through for you, I think that's where the Superpig is going to excel over the Warpig. I think it's one of those boards where you're going to find your own limits before you find the limit of the snowboard. I guess if I was going to try to put it as simply as I can, I think the Warpig is definitely more freestyle friendly. It's more of a do-it-all kind of snowboard, easier to control. Whereas with the Superpig, you're going to get a much more locked in, precise feeling for carving. You're going to get a lot of feedback out of this board. It's a very high energy snowboard, more of a high speed, free ride, carving, big mountain kind of snowboard. I hope that helps you out, guys. Both of the boards are really awesome. Go check them out. I'm gonna have them linked down below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it, guys. And let me know what you think down in the comments as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Warpig versus the Superpig. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in a new video soon.